With recent advancements in technology like artificial intelligence and developing attacks against users like phishing, where does the ordinary Filipino consumer stand? Let's get the thoughts of Advanced AI Philippines, Mike Calma. Mike, great to have you with us on The Final Word. First of all, everyone was talking about the hacking, the phishing of GCash. My question is to you, can it happen again?
Well, thank you, Rico, for having me, and happy Independence Day to you.
Happy Independence
and to
Day.
our viewers. Let me put this through this lens, right? It's Independence Day today, after all. And I think we should also be fighting, right, against, for independence from financial exclusion. And I think incidents such as this are unfortunate, right? But I think when we are able to adapt, right, with this phishing incidents, then we would be better off. Now, can this happen again? Definitely yes. So we need to protect ourselves by doing two things. First is educating the consumer. We can't have too much of consumer education. And we've seen a lot of big players, GCash included, lead the charge. And then we also see an industry-led FinTech Alliance campaign on consumer education and cybersecurity. Second is on the technology front. We've seen the vulnerabilities of legacy technologies such as SMS OTP. And it's a 20-year-old technology after all, right? And I think this dovetails into a key concept when designing customer experience for new online and particularly fintech platforms, which is this. There should be no compromise between security and convenience to the customer. And I think that is where AI could really help.
But of course, big companies like Globe, GCash, you also have Maya, and other payment networks have layers, Mike, of cybersecurity.
Correct.
But what is on the mind, if you would put your mind in of cyber criminals, I mean, how do they think in terms of attacking once again the cybersecurity systems of these big companies?
Well, if we go back to the GCash incident, it's a case of social engineering. What the fraudsters essentially did is trick the valid GCash users into providing their OTP. And I think, again, it goes back, right, to consumer education.
And do you think eventually we will see the phase out of these OTPs?
Eventually, yes, right? But although they are a legacy technology, if you layer them with newer ones like facial recognition, for example, right, I think you are better off in terms of security. So if I just could zoom in into the customer experience, right, we have unique problems in the Philippines. First, when a customer onboards into a fintech platform, for instance, they are asked to present their IDs. And these fintech platforms are mandated by the BSP to honor all 15. So again, it's a job for AI to recognize these IDs, number one, be able to extract data from them so that it's convenient for the customer, and ensure that the IDs themselves are valid. They're not fake, because we do have that problem in the Philippines. The second issue that AI should address is to train the facial recognition models with Southeast Asian faces. If the model, for example, is trained in North America or some other place with different races, and then when you bring it to the Philippines, it might not be as accurate and as fast. And I think all of these factors, right, deter the mass adoption of fintech.
But how do we stack up against our Southeast Asian neighbors in terms of these, how would you say, the frequency of phishing attacks?
I think given that adoption in the Philippines is quite fast.
Yes.
Likewise, we've seen our enterprises adapt quickly as well. But as we were talking earlier, it's a cat and mouse game. Enterprises as well as customers need to be at the top of their game in order to protect themselves.
You mentioned a key word there, no? Which is the quick adoption of digitization in the country. Because the Bangko Central's goal is to digitize 50% of all payments by the end of 2023. are we digitizing too quickly without the proper safeguards, education, which you've always highlighted, and investments of the government and the private sector?
Yeah, I think by its very nature, we need to be quick about it. And not only quick in terms of adopting the technology itself, but also quick in terms of educating ourselves and adapting new technology to further protect us.
But are we already being left behind? Can we not do it slowly but surely to avoid these kinds of cyber scams?
I think we should put our faith really in the Filipino, especially now. We've seen ourselves as the SMS capital in the early, not early, but mid-90s, social media capital in 2015. We could be fintech capital now. We just need to learn quickly from these kinds of lessons and incidents and be able to apply them day by day. So it's not a silver bullet where you do a campaign on consumer education and then put in AI, all done. So it takes a whole industry to collaborate as well as with regulators and consumer groups to be able to make this happen.
Yeah, it is very important that a whole ecosystem, all stakeholders come together, not to educate. But are we there? Is there synergy? Is there collaboration among all stakeholders? Because Advanced AI is just one company, right? And you're 6 people in the company. We need more of Advanced AI. We need more of you out there to let our kababayans know.
That's right. 6 people in the Philippines, but around 200 globally. So, yeah.
But is it sufficient?
It is.
Are there enough of you out there?
Yes. And it's not only us. Again, as you mentioned, it takes a whole ecosystem to be able to ensure that the customer journey is convenient, the adoption is there, aligned with the BSP goals, but at the same time secure. So, yes, there is industry collaboration, but definitely we could do more. One thing that we've noticed is that adoption is pretty much focused on the big cities. Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, Metro
Not
Davao.
in the rural areas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why we make it a priority to partner with local startups as well, covering the rural areas. It's not a profitable enterprise in the short term, but in the long term, this is the bottom of the pyramid. But I mentioned earlier, there are challenges. Infrastructure is one. We're getting there eventually. But we really need to stick to our guns and be able to empower these startups as well, local startups.
Thank you so much for your insights. Philippine Country Manager Mike Calma from Advance AI.
Thank you.